Hi everybody, welcome back to Bible in a Year. My name is Natalie and today we are on day 364. I am so happy that you're here today. Welcome to the channel. We are going to be reading out of 2 Chronicles chapter 35, Malachi chapter 3, and then we're going to close out our day with John chapter 21, but only verses 1 through 14 today. So let's get started with 2 Chronicles chapter 35. Here we go. Josiah kept a Passover to Yahweh in Jerusalem. They killed the Passover on the 14th day of the first month. He set the priests in their offices and encouraged them in the service of Yahweh's house. He said to the Levites who taught all Israel, who were holy to Yahweh, "Put the holy ark in the house which Solomon the son of David, king of Israel, built. It will no longer be a burden on your shoulders. Now serve Yahweh your God and his people Israel. Prepare yourselves after your father's houses by your divisions, according to the writing of David, king of Israel, and according to the writing of Solomon his son. Stand in the holy place according to the divisions of their fathers' houses, of your brothers, the children of the people, and let there be for each a portion of a father's house of the Levites. Kill the Passover lamb, sanctify yourselves, and prepare for your brothers to do according to Yahweh's word by Moses." Josiah gave to the children of the people of the flock lambs and young goats, all of them for the Passover offerings, to all who were present, to the number of 30,000 and 3,000 bulls. These were the king's substance. His princes gave a freewill offering to the people, to the priests, and to the Levites. Hilkiah, Zechariah, and Jehiel, the rulers of God's house, gave to the priests for the Passover offerings 2,600 small livestock and 300 head of cattle. Conaniah also, and Shemaiah, and Nathanael, his brothers, and Hashabiah, Jael, and Jozabad, the chiefs of the Levites, gave to the Levites for the Passover offerings 5,000 small livestock and 500 head of cattle. So the service was prepared, and the priests stood in their place, and the Levites by their divisions, according to the king's commandment. They killed the Passover lambs, and the priests sprinkled the blood which they received from their hands, and the Levites skinned them. They removed the burnt offerings, that they might give them according to the divisions of the fathers' houses of the children of the people, to offer to Yahweh, as it is written in the book of Moses. They did the same with the cattle. They roasted the Passover with fire, according to the ordinance. They boiled the holy offerings in pots, in cauldrons, and in pans, and carried them quickly to all the children of the people. Afterward, they prepared for themselves and for the priests, because the priests, the sons of Aaron, were busy with offering the burnt offerings and the fat until night. Therefore, the Levites prepared for themselves and for the priests, the sons of Aaron. The singers, the sons of Asaph, were in their place, according to the commandment of David, Asaph, Heman, and Jeduthun, the king's seer, and the gatekeepers were at every gate. They didn't need to depart from their service, because their brothers, the Levites, prepared for them. So all the service of Yahweh was prepared the same day to keep the Passover and to offer burnt offerings on Yahweh's altar, according to the commandment of King Josiah. The children of Israel who were present kept the Passover at that time, and the feast of unleavened bread 7 days. There was no Passover like that kept in Israel from the days of Samuel the prophet, nor did any of the kings of Israel keep such a Passover as Josiah kept, with the priests, the Levites, and all Judah and Israel who were present, and the inhabitants of Jerusalem. This Passover was kept in the 18th year of the reign of Josiah. After all this, Josiah had prepared the temple. Necho, king of Egypt, went up to fight against Carchemish by the Euphrates, and Josiah went out against him. But he sent ambassadors to him, saying, "What have I to do with you, you king of Judah? I come not against you today, but against the house with which I have war. God has commanded me to make haste. Beware that it is God who is with me, that he not destroy you." Nevertheless, Josiah would not turn his face from him, but disguised himself that he might fight with him. He didn't listen to the words of Necho from the mouth of God, and came to fight in the valley of Megiddo. The archers shot at King Josiah, and the king said to his servants, "Take me away, because I am seriously wounded." So his servants took him out of the chariot and put him in the second chariot that he had, and brought him to Jerusalem, and he died, and was buried in the tombs of his fathers. All Judah and Jerusalem mourned for Josiah. Jeremiah lamented for Josiah, and all the singers, men and singing women, spoke of Josiah in their lamentations to this day, and they made them an ordinance in Israel. Behold, they are written in the Lamentations. Now the rest of the acts of Josiah and his good deeds, according to that which is written in Yahweh's law, and his acts, first and last, behold, they are written in the book of the kings of Israel and Judah. All right, moving into Malachi chapter 3. Behold, I send my messenger, and he will prepare the way before me. The Lord whom you seek will suddenly come to his temple. Behold, the messenger of the covenant whom you desire is coming, says Yahweh of armies. But who can endure the day of his coming, and who will stand when he appears? For he is like a refiner's fire, and like launderer's soap. And he will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver, and he will purify the sons of Levi, and refine them as gold and silver. And they shall offer to Yahweh offerings in righteousness. Then the offering of Judah and Jerusalem will be pleasant to Yahweh, as in the days of old, and as in ancient years. I will come near to you to judgment. I will be a swift witness against the sorcerers, against the adulterers, against the perjurers, and against those who oppress the hireling and his wages, the widow and the fatherless, and who deprive the foreigner of justice, and don't fear me, says Yahweh of armies. For I, Yahweh, don't change. Therefore, you sons of Jacob are not consumed. From the days of your fathers you have turned away from my ordinances and have not kept them. Return to me, and I will return to you, says Yahweh of armies. But you say, how shall we return? Will a man rob God? Yet you rob me. But you say, how have we robbed you? In tithes and offerings. You are cursed with the curse, for you rob me, even this whole nation. Bring the whole tithe into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house, and test me now in this, says Yahweh of armies, if I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing that there will not be enough room for. I will rebuke and devour for your sakes, and he shall not destroy the fruits of your ground, neither shall your vine cast its fruits before its time in the field, says Yahweh of armies. All nations shall call you blessed, for you will be a delightful land, says Yahweh of armies. Your words have been harsh against me, says Yahweh, yet you say, what have we spoken against you? You have said, it is vain to serve God, and what profit is it that we have followed his instructions and that we have walked mournfully before Yahweh of armies? Now we call the proud happy. Yes, those who work wickedness are built up. Yes, they tempt God and escape. Then those who feared Yahweh spoke one with another, and Yahweh listened and heard, and a book of memory was written before him for those who feared Yahweh and who honored his name. They shall be mine, says Yahweh of armies, my own possession in the day that I make. I will spare them, as a man spares his own son who serves him. Then you shall return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him who serves God and him who doesn't serve. That is all exactly the point of this channel. I should say one of the points of the channel. We need to be minding our own business. God is the one who is going to separate the wicked from those who serve him. So we need to pay attention to ourselves and our relationship that we have with God. It is not our business what the wicked is doing. Of course, we can vote. Of course, we can protect ourselves and stay away from people who are doing wicked acts. But the judgments and making people behave a certain way is never going to work. It's just never going to work. Let's pay attention to ourselves. And what are we doing? What's that verse? Remove the log out of our eye so that we can take the splinter out of our neighbor's eye, right? Pretty powerful stuff. All right, John chapter 21, verses 1 through 14. After these things, Jesus revealed himself again to the disciples at the Sea of Tiberias. He revealed himself this way. Simon Peter, Thomas, called Didymus, Nathanael of Cana in Galilee, and the sons of Zebedee, and 2 others of his disciples were together. Simon Peter said to them, I'm going fishing. And they told him, we are also coming with you. And they immediately went out and entered into the boat. And that night they caught nothing. But when day had already come, Jesus stood on the beach, yet the disciples didn't know that it was Jesus. And Jesus therefore said to them, Children, have ye anything to eat? And they answered him, No. He said to them, Cast the net on the right side of the boat, and you will find some. They cast it therefore, and now they weren't able to draw it in for the multitude of fish. That disciple, therefore, whom Jesus loved, said to Peter, It's the Lord. So when Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he wrapped his coat around himself, for he was naked, and threw himself into the sea. But the other disciples came in the little boat, for they were not far from the land, but about 200 cubits away, dragging the net full of fish. So when they got out on the land, they saw a fire of coals there, with fish and bread laid on it. And Jesus said to them, Bring some of the fish which you have just caught. And Simon Peter went up and drew the net to land, full of 153 great fish. Even though there were so many, the net wasn't torn. And Jesus said to them, Come and eat breakfast. None of the disciples dared inquire of him, "Who are you?" knowing that it was the Lord. Then Jesus came and took the bread, gave it to them, and the fish likewise. This is now the third time that Jesus was revealed to his disciples after he had risen from the dead. It's John's account, John's witness. Do you just love that? They're just in the boat having their miserable day or their miserable evening, just trying to get fish. What a stinky, gross job. And they're just not catching anything. And then this man yells from the shore, "Children, have you anything to eat?" Who would have the patience to answer that question? Of course, they didn't know it was Jesus, but oh my goodness. Look at me. Do I look like I have anything to eat? Anyways, I'm a little spastic today because we are so close to drawing to the end of Bible in a Year. I have no words. It doesn't feel like we're at the end, and yet the format says we are at the end. I am so glad that you have joined me, and I hope that you've enjoyed this channel. I know it is really hard to believe that, yes, we have read the Bible in a year. Well, as of tomorrow, we will have read the whole Bible, all the books. And I am so happy that you joined me to do this crazy idea I had, 14 months ago. So come on back for tomorrow for the very last day, day 365. Have the most wonderful day today, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.